Hi everybody and welcome back. So today we're going to be looking at the Titan PWM version 1.5 mod by Steamcrave. This I was very excited for. I love all of Steamcrave products. Now Steamcrave has come out with the Titan PWM 1.5. There are some differences, but it's not a huge difference. It's not like one is totally different than the other. They have a lot of similarities, but they do have their differences as well, which is why they upgraded it. Now, this does take 4 18650 batteries. They do not come provided, so you would have to purchase them separately. It is a PWM mod. That means that this is a pulse width modulation device. So this is like a type of a regulated mod. But what it does is it's actually working really fast, doing like an on and off pulsing to create a lower output voltage or a lower voltage output. It does have some protections in it. I would advise, of course, knowing your ohms law and your battery safety, especially for a device like this, because of the fact that it does work in voltage. You want to know your voltage, you know, based off of the type of batteries that you have in there, the amperage of your batteries, as well as your resistance of your coils. But that's just, let's just go ahead and go down. It's like I'm doing the review from up here. It doesn't matter. Let's go ahead and go down. We'll see everything that it comes in. We'll take a closer look at it. Then we're going to come back up. We're going to vape on it. We're going to have pros and cons, and I'll give you a little bit more information about the Titan PWM version 1.5 by Steamcrave. So here we are with the Titan PWM mod. This is the version 1.5. Powerful, safe, simple to use. This is by Steamcrave, of course. And this is the box that it comes in. It's got a number there, steamcrave.com. It does come in 3 colors, black, silver, and gunmetal. I do have the black. And on the back, it's got your scratch off authenticity. Inside, you're going to get that famous Steamcrave sticker that we all love. And then you're going to get a user manual. Now, this user manual is pretty small. I mean, it's just very simple and to the point. It's going to give you some information on the front, and then it's going to give you additional information and statistics or more information and specifications on the inside. Now, this does have a ramp up time of 25 milliseconds. It does have overtime protection, overtime precision, low voltage protection, max power, and input and output amp information. Now, this does have a max power of 300 watts, and the lowest resistance is a 0.06 resistance. Okay, so here we are with the mod. So this is the Titan PWM 1.5. So this is an upgraded version. And what I'm going to be doing is actually going over some similarities to the original. So we're going to be talking about that as well. But let me go over the information on this. Now, currently there are some finger markings. If you didn't notice there, that's actually for an ergonomic grip so that it's very comfortable to hold. It is also a change from the original. You do have Titan PWM mod version 1.5 here. It's got the Steamcrave logo here. You've got your serial number right there. On the bottom, you've got battery ventilation, and then you also have the additional battery ventilation right here, very similar to the original. The biggest difference I think that you're going to notice right off the bat is going to be the 510 plate. It does have the spring-loaded 510, very similar, but they did go ahead and put a plate on here, as well as an additional screw. This one only had 2 screws. This one does have 3. Another big change between the two is going to be the fact of the wheel or the adjustment button. This one was very plain. It was just very simple. It worked for everything. It was to actually adjust your voltage as well as lock the device and turn it on and fire. Now with this one, you actually have this part here, which is actually to adjust. And then this is going to be like your fire button, also to lock the device. So that's pretty much it. It does all the same things that the original one did. If you notice here, this one did the same things as this one. It's got the very similar screen, but one thing I did notice is that this one is much brighter than the original, which I appreciate. That was one of my qualms about this one. Now on here, what you're going to see is that this does go from a total of 1 volt all the way up to 8.4. So there we go there. Let me go ahead and zoom in for the menu. And then it's going to go all the way up to 8.4. And again, I'm spinning the outer wheel right here. And that's actually going to be to adjust your voltage. Now there is a little bit of space, not too much, but a little bit of space so that the wheel can move. So you can go up to a total of 8.4 volts. That is a total of 300 watts. If you notice there, it does have the wattage section there. So it's going to display the wattage that is being that is being used based off of the voltage that is selected. That is where your resistance is. And then this is going to give you the indication of all 4 batteries. Each battery indicator is for 2 batteries, being that this does take 4 batteries. Now, this does work. Let me just go ahead and take it down a little bit. So for 4.4 volts, if you were vaping this, it's going to, and you have an atomizer on here, it'll actually display your wattage. Now to go into it, here's the battery door. Let me just give you, there we go. This does open a lot easier if you already have batteries in, just letting you know, especially for you ladies. So when you open up the battery door, very, very similar to the other one, it's just got your contacts right there. And then your batteries go in like that. Now it is very, very clearly marked down on the bottom which way down that you're going to put your battery orientation. You're going to have 2 negative on this side and 2 positive down on that side. And that is making it the parallel series, because when you have your batteries going in the same direction, like say the 2 negatives right there, that is actually parallel. So having this is parallel and having this is parallel when they're facing the same direction. When you have plus and minus, when they're in different directions, that is actually series. So this is a parallel series mod. So going ahead and putting the batteries back down, I'm going to put my 2 positive down, 2 negative down, and there you go. When you have it all set up and you put the door on, it's going to show you the indication for all 4 batteries. So you just pop it in like that. It's all together. There is no battery wiggle whatsoever. One thing I want to say is that one thing that stands out to me for Steamcrave's mods is the fact that they actually hug the batteries. So it's got like that additional lip in between each of the 2 batteries, and that's what's keeping it in place and keeping it from rattling once the door is put on. So I really, really like that about it. So you put on the door, very, very simple, just like that. When you put in batteries, it automatically starts up. So you're going to automatically be powered on. 5 clicks, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's going to turn it off. Very, very nice bright screen. And I'm going to show you the difference. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to turn it on. Let's turn it off. You see how dim that is? And there we go. So very, I mean, it does have like a timeout on the screen, but it's very, very bright compared to the original. Now, once you have an atomizer on here, like I said, I'm going to put my Ragnar on here, which I love my Ragnar on it. I think it fits perfectly. This does fit up to a 41 millimeter atomizer with no overhang. This right here is a 35. It fits literally around the plate that's there. I will tell you personally, I did like it better without the plate, only because if I want to use a 30 millimeter atomizer on here, like my Aromomizer Plus, I don't have that plate showing underneath it. So I personally liked it better this way. Now they did say that they updated the chip on here. So this is going to be more accurate, and it's going to be better all around because of that chip. On this screen, you're only seeing 1 battery because I only have 2 in here. So you can run it with 4 or you can run it with 2. So see here, I only have 2 batteries, but I do have them in series mode. I don't have them in parallel mode. I have them in series mode. So that means 1 up, 1 down. So that is that. And you can do the same thing with this one with no issues at all. So I'll go ahead and do that here. So let's go ahead and take out these 2. Okay, put the door on. I didn't see many people actually mention this part, but this is very helpful, especially if you only have 2 batteries and you got 4 charging that you want to use and you only have 2, you can still work it with just the 2. So see, so now I only have 2 batteries in it, but it's still going to work. So I have it at 4.4 volts, which comes out to being 74 watts with my build, which is a 0.25, and it still works just fine. Now, I usually run this, I think it was I usually run it about 5.1 volts. But yeah, so it does work either with 2 or with 4 batteries. When you have it with 4 batteries, it's going to give you the full 300 watts. It's going to give you that full 8.4 volts. When you have it with just in series with just 2 batteries, it's not going to give you as strong of an output as it would if you had all 4 of them in there for the para series. So that is pretty much it. I'll go ahead and put my batteries in. Back in, positive here and negative there. There we go. And then we'll go ahead and put this back on. Oh, there is also, this is really important. There's a groove only on 2 sides, one on this side and then one on this side. That is where this is going to lock in. It's actually got a little lip on one end and a lip on the other to actually grab it. If you're trying to put it on and you can't put it on, look for the indents, because it probably means that you don't have it lined up. We're in and you're good to go. I do like that the display now is much more vibrant than the original. The size, everything about it is exactly the same. The only difference is going to be your cutouts. It's got an updated chip. Your wheel is different, and now it's got the 510 plate. Those are the biggest main differences between the original Titan mod and this one. Now, with the original, they did want to do some upgrades because there was problems with the original one. So they did upgrade it for this one. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and go on top. We're going to have a vape. We're going to talk more about it, pros and cons. Okay, so here we are back on top with the Titan PWM version 1.5 by Steamcrave. Very, very excited to bring this to you. Let's go ahead and have a vape, and I'll show you what this puppy can do. Of course, I have my Ragnar RDTA, one of my favorites. I mean, there's not too many non-favorites that I have when it comes to Steamcrave because their products are really, really machine great. I currently have this at 4.9 volts, which is coming out to about 96.5 or 96.7 watts. I'm going to go ahead and take it up to 5. So now I have it on 5 volts, and that is 100 watts. It works just amazing. It does have that ramp up, or what they're calling a firing speed of 25 milliseconds. So it does work really, really fast. It ramps up pretty fast the higher that you go in voltage. And the reason why I say that is because I was running my Aromomizer Plus on this, and I vape that around 60, maybe 70 watts. And it does take a little bit more to ramp it up, but that's also based off of the resistance of your coil. So that is gonna, of course, play into it. I currently have this at 0.25 resistance. It works fine, but of course I'm at a higher wattage or a higher voltage. So it ramps up really, really fast. When you're going really, really low, it just takes a little bit more to ramp up. That's what I've noticed during my testing. Now for me, the biggest pro on this is going to be the fact that they did go ahead and enhance that window so that when you're looking at your information, it's brighter than it was on the original. That was one of my pet peeves, was not the weight or anything. It was just that the screen was really dim. Now they've actually enhanced it so that the screen is not, not scream, is a little bit brighter so that you can actually see it even if you're out in the sunlight, which I think is great. It works the same way that this one did. Exactly. Like you can have it in the Para series, which it has the 4 batteries in it, or you can run it in series, which is 2 batteries. One, of course, positive, one, of course, negative. You want to have them, opposite to be in series. But you can run it with just 2 batteries. So that's something that I brought up in my original review of this. Not many people knew about it. I did, because I would run it that way, because I didn't necessarily want all that 4 battery weight at certain times. So I would actually run it with 2 batteries. Now, if I was running out all day, I would take the 4 batteries for sure. For sure. I would have 4 batteries in it. No problem, because I want that battery life. So, but I do like that the fact that the battery indication is great. Now, another improvement that they did was the wheel. Now, when I will be totally honest with you, with the wheel, I was kind of like, that's kind of nice, but is it necessary? I personally like it. I don't feel like it sticks out too much. It actually doesn't, in my opinion. It sticks out just far enough, but it's just so that you can fire it. It's not, it might get caught in your pants pocket if you're not careful. But other than that, I don't feel like it does any damage. Now, you can lock it, which I do suggest doing because of the fact that it does have that little wheel there, or that little adjustment fan right there. You can change the voltage in error without knowing if you're not looking. So to lock the device, what you're going to do is you're actually going to click the fire button 3 times. Once you do, it's going to show that it's been locked. And then to unlock it, it's 3. And it's unlocked. So yeah, so it's easy to lock and unlock. I personally always leave it locked because I am one of those that does go and change my voltage. So locking it is key for me. Now, another thing that they did change on this is the ergonomic feel to it. And I really like it The only thing is that for left-handed people, unless they have it where the display is facing this way, instead of like when you're right-handed and you're holding it, the display is facing you. If you're left-handed, the display will have to be facing the other way so that you can hit the fire button and you can still have the ergonomic feel to it. If that doesn't bother you and you just want to fire it, it works amazingly. I've been testing it in both hands. Even though I'm not a lefty, I did want to go ahead and test that out. And it works just fine. It works perfectly. The only thing is that your display is not here. It's actually back here. But other than that, it works just fine. Now, another thing that they did do, and I think a lot of you are going to have the same feeling that I do about it, is that new 510 plate. If you have an atomizer that fits basically the same diameter, which is like around a 35, 36 millimeter diameter, you're not going to have a problem because it's covered. But if you were to say, use your Aromomizer Plus on it, you're going to see it. And that is the part that I much prefer. I mean, it doesn't really bother me, but I think that a lot of people are going to be bothered by that because of the fact that you can still see it. So if you have a 30 millimeter atomizer, you can still see it. So I do want to mention that. Now, me personally, I have been using it with my Aromomizer Plus and with my Ragnar, and I don't really have any issues with it. It works beautifully either way. So either way, I do like it. I love the fact that it's so tall, but that's just me because most of you don't like that shit. But I don't mind it. Now, personally, I do like it together, but I do prefer the Hadron for my Aromomizer Plus, and then I like my Ragnar for this one. So that's just my way of liking things. So I have been rocking my Aromomizer Plus on the Ragnar, or it'll go on my Charm mod, or it'll go on, my Blue mod, my Blue Custom mod, my Angel and Demon. That's what I usually do for this one. But for the Ragnar, I really like it. I think that it really fits it perfectly, to be honest with you. I love the feel of it together. Even though the Ragnar looks great on the Hadron, I really like it on this a little bit better. I don't know why. Maybe it's just the way that it looks, or I don't know. I just love these two together. I think it fits great. Now with the Titan RDTA, you can use it on this as well. It's got that same feel as the Ragnar, but of course it's going to be wider. You're going to be covering the plate completely, and you can use that. A lot of people actually like the Titan mod with the Titan RDTA, and I don't blame you because I think that it's a great set together. I personally just like my Ragnar with it a little bit better, but that's personal preference. It's nothing to do with the Titan RDTA or anything like that, because I think every single one of their RDTAs is just phenomenal. Other than that, I do like the improvements that they made, other than the plate. The plate, it's not bothering me because it's covered, but I really wish that it still had the same plate, if I'm being totally honest with you, which I always am. I love the fact that they kept everything else. There is one thing, and it's a subjective, not a con, but like a suggestion. On this one, on the front where the screen is, the Steamcrave logo is on there. On this one, where the display is, it's telling you that it's the Titan PWM version 1.5, and the actual logo is where the button is. They should have stayed with the logo on the side with the screen, in my personal opinion, because when I'm holding it, I want to see Steamcrave. I don't want to see it on the side where it's hidden, and then it's just saying Titan PWM. And so I really think that they should have switched those two. But that's just a suggestion that I'm having. It has nothing to do with the way that it performs, the way that it works. It's just a suggestion because I'm kind of picky that way. But other than that, it works absolutely amazing. Thank you so much, Steamcrave, for sending it my way. I'm really, really happy with it. I do like the improvements. It doesn't make this any less great for me in any way. It's just got those special little features like the finger marks for your, ergonomic feel. It's got the same basic workings, but I do kind of like this a little bit better. I kind of do. I really do. Yeah, I really do. I won't lie. It's very clicky, whereas this one was clicky as well. I feel like this one's a little bit clickier. I did forget to mention that. I liked it, but I love the button on this one. But again, it's all about personal preference. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for my review. Let me know down in the comments. Now again, this does come in black, silver, or black, stainless steel, and gunmetal. I personally love the blacked out look to it. That's just me. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. What do you think about this? What do you think about the changes between the original and the version 1.5? I would love to hear your feedback on it. Thank you so much for watching. And if you're not already subscribed, why not? It's free. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button right there. And I will see you on my next video.